What's going on, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Carlos King and the fact that his new show, The Nightcap with Carlos King, is going to be debuting on OWN Network. And I am excited that Andy Cohen is finally going to have some real competition. Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't do regrets. I'm trying to learn from my lessons, but do I get it yet? I want to set an example, but I'm not sure I can handle all my demons. I'm thinking that I should court a vet. I fight for all respect. I'm working overtime to keep in my head. I understand I'll get the love when I'm dead. So my focus is red. Choose the black out on what's keeping me chosen. I've been the token, now the back is ahead. On my soapbox.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. This is Georgia Carolina, your gated and discrimination-free community where we personalize culture and entertainment and then curate a conversation that's based on self-discovery and growth. I am your pop culture coordinator of all things inclusion and awareness, Jordan Renee. And I'm happy to have you back for another video. All right, everybody, so we're back and we're talking Carlos King. He just announced that he has a late night talk show coming on OWN, late night or The Nightcap with Carlos King. And I can't tell you how excited I am to see this, because I'm excited to see a perspective in late night that is directly relatable to my own experience. I love seeing a queer perspective in these spaces that we don't usually see them. I love seeing the representation spread as far as it can spread, right? And I'm so happy to see this. I am also, from a petty, shady perspective, so happy to see that the best executive producer to ever produce a Real Housewives season is now going to be giving the King of Housewives direct competition. I am hoping that Bravo allows Carlos King to not only interview the Love and Marriage reality stars, but I'm hoping that he also brings on the Real Housewives, especially the Real Housewives from the shows that he's produced, like Atlanta, like New Jersey, like I think he might have did Beverly Hills as well. But I'm excited to see this man really take this hemisphere by the neck. Like, for so long it's only been Andy Cohen, and you know what, for so long it's only been a white man that's been like king of reality TV at one time. You know, we had Ryan Seacrest as that guy for all of these years, and now we've had Andy Cohen with Housewives for all these years. I'm excited to see that the next generation of hot executive producer is a black man, and not just a black man, a black gay man. That is exciting, because you know what? I've had some interesting takes when it comes to Carlos King's producing style. I wasn't a fan of some of the ways that he produced Real Housewives of Atlanta, by just having these random people from the women's lives just pop up and shake up their entire world. Mind you, it did make great TV, but sometimes I felt like it just wasn't the move. But that aside, Carlos King is an amazing reality TV producer. When it comes to Hollywood Divas, The Next 15, like BET's The Encore. He really knows how to take stories and give them stakes and create a story that is not just engaging for the time period, but we can go back and watch these shows 10 years from now and still enjoy them for the value of what they were and not necessarily seem dated. Do you know what I mean? I feel like Carlos King kind of does produce like this timeless reality TV where he's not just producing stories that are trendy in the moment. He's producing real stories that anybody can relate to at any time. So to see him now be taking on late night talk, it's so exciting to see. But what I don't want to see is people calling him the Black Andy Cohen. That I don't want to see. He's direct competition. He is not the next. Because at the end of the day, Andy Cohen was executive producer of a lot of Housewives shows, but we never saw him like really in the trenches the way that we saw like Carlos King in the trenches when it comes to producing these shows. Like, we've never seen Andy Cohen step on set during something going on during filming. Like, he's kind of the person who they just send the stills to, send the dailies to, and, you know, they just kind of run interference through him. The way that it looks, I don't see Andy Cohen being as directly involved with each individual franchise. I think now he has so much on his plate with Watch What Happens Live, with all the other projects that he's doing, with Radio Andy and Sirius and all of those things. I think that he isn't as involved in the actual creation of the shows, and he delegates it to the production companies that are putting these shows together. Whereas with Carlos King, he is the production company and he's the person who is, you know, the middleman to the network. So it's like a personal touch. So seeing this guy be the person who's going to be our liaison for all of reality TV news from this perspective, it's so exciting to see. Because Carlos King is messy, he's bangy, just like Andy, but in a way where he wants to genuinely tell women's stories instead of just get good television. And I feel like that's the difference between him and Andy Cohen. I feel like Andy Cohen just wants to make good TV, whereas Carlos King wants to draw good TV out of real stories. That's why the stuff that the stuff that Carlos King produces has this timeless substance to it, because there's not just momentary drama. There's longevity because there's substance, and there's things that we can relate to, and there's palpable stories that transcend just that season. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Carlos King, you deserve this. And God damn it, I really hope that you really do get to produce the new reboot of The Real Housewives of New York. If you guys have heard Carlos King's podcast, The Reality TV, something like that, with Carlos King, his podcast, the first episode had the Ebony K. Williams on it, and they were talking about New York. And by the end of that conversation, Carlos King saw exactly in her what I saw. And not only did he want to see her back on Real Housewives of New York, he also wanted to produce the season, because he saw exactly what I saw. That Ebony never got a fair chance to really be an adequate full-blown housewife, because she was put there with an agenda. She was put there with an agenda as the education guru for all things black culture to this group of white women that she doesn't know. So her coming in with an agenda to wag her finger at the women, not on her own merit, because she said in the show, I'm not Terry Morrison, bitch. I'm not here to educate you. But that was Bravo's agenda. So everything and every time that she just dropped a gem, it was turned into a full-blown sermon. And so I'm glad that she was able to sit on his platform and reconcile that, so that now he can see what a great reality star she is. Because if you go back and look at her confessionals, she's incredible. But within the women, she didn't get to really have her moment because she was put there with an agenda. So anything that they put together of her with the women was going to be her preaching at them, to you guys. So I'm excited for the nightcap with Carlos King. I'm excited for his podcast, because I am about to go back and listen to his first installment of his favorite housewives of all time. I'm excited for Love and Marriage DC. Love and Marriage Huntsville is on right now. I'm hoping that BET's The Encore gets another series. Bring back Hollywood Divas. I need Hollywood Divas back. Hollywood Divas was so amazing. I need that show back. Like Hollywood Divas was really what I meant when I was talking about he really wants to tell the women's stories and also get good TV out of these genuine stories. Because if you go back and look at Hollywood Divas, that show really took the stories and the lives of these women, and it just found the comedic, it just found the comic relief in it, because the women, especially Paula J. Parker, they just, in the midst of them having these crazy ass lives, they were also genuinely really freaking entertaining. Please bring back that show. Love and Marriage DC. I don't like this. To me, that's the perfect middle ground to merging Carlos King with the housewives and with the own reality stars, because one, he used to produce Real Housewives, and then on top of that, he is building a franchise around one of the best Real Housewives to ever do it, Monique Samuels. So I'm hoping that she's the first reality star that he brings on the nightcap, and we get a deep dive into her leaving Bravo, coming over to OWN, what really brought her back from TV, because they did a live on Instagram together where they were talking about it. But I really want to see that conversation happen on a national stage. There's so many things. Please bring Ebony back on. I want you to have Andy Cohen come on your show. I want you to have Andy Cohen come on, and I want you to just have a conversation with him about the different ways that Bravo and these production companies handle the way that these housewives are perceived, and challenge Andy to really go in and explain the problematic ways that they handle race issues on their network. I want you to go there. I would, but you know, they're not giving me a show. So with that being said, excuse me. With that being said, I'm excited. I can't remember when the show is supposed to be premiering. I'm not even sure that they have a premiere date. But until then, you can go and listen to the podcast, The Reality with Carlos King. Love and Marriage Huntsville season 4 is on. Love and Marriage DC is starting in May. And I think it might be starting in April or May. It's starting soon. I know that. Check your local listings. But with that being said, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you from the bottom of my green heart emoji. If you like the video, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all of the things. And yeah, until the next one. Peace. Goodbye, This is fucking iconic. Yes!